You, what's going on, y'all? It's JSMO Reviews here, back at it again with another video. Another prediction video. Like I said, there was a lot of news that came out, and even another big announcement last night. So I was going to originally record this over the weekend, maybe get it up early Sunday, try to get it up before football. It was half and half, and then we got the Bill versus Nitty prediction, or Bill versus Nitty trailer yesterday. So I'm going to throw them both in here. I'm doing the final exam predictions video right here. URL's new rookies versus vets types of format card, which, you know, I have a lot of thoughts about that, bringing that style of card back. And then I'm also going to give some early thoughts on the Nitty versus Bill battle, announced as the headliner for Traffic 5. I will be in the building. Tickets are already copped. It's in Arizona, live in Arizona, so I got to be in the building for that one. But we're going to start out with doing the final exams card, and then I'll be giving some of my thoughts on Bill versus Nitty, and you know what else I might like to see on the traffic card. So without further ado, let's get into final exams. So starting from the bottom of the card for final exams, I will be also transparent. There is a couple of the Crucible talents here that I'm not too familiar with. Getting into the Crucible, as many have said, has been a little bit of a rocky road, the way they drop it, the lack of promotion. And while I do my due diligence, I am able to find out of guys like Hansel, like Foots, Souffleur Soul obviously is the one most will know because of his SM appearance, and even a little bit of Ease. When it comes to Klutz and Authentic, I'm really not that familiar with their game, and even in the case of Ease, I am very new to discovering, you know, his style as a battler and watching his footage. So some of these predictions here obviously won't be that in-depth because I just don't have that much opinions on the rookie side of it. But to start out, first matchup, the return of Chef Trez to URL versus Authentic. Chef Trez, one of many battlers that just signed a 2-year exclusivity deal with URL. That would be Bill Collector, Chef Trez, O-Red, and Clean Paper, Kitchen Clean now. Might be doing some bookums for them, if you guys know about that series where I list the best possible future matchups for a battler coming up. A realistic booking plan. You know, a lot of news recently, so if you want some of that, you know, let me know down in the comments. But Chef Trez versus Authentic, I think Chef Trez has been a lackadaisical on GTX and some of his numerous performances recently, where even if you have him winning, the energy just doesn't seem to be there. And I know passion was a big reason that Chef Trez possibly stepped away from the game for a minute. But I think being back on URL, you know, it's toss-up because Authentic is a no-name. But if he was to show out here, the people already want big matchups for Trez. They missed him on URL. And one showing here could immediately take him into another top-tier matchup or something that the people want. So I have Chef Trez, whether he's really in cruise control or great, 2-1. I just, you know, I have to bet on the vet. Also not very familiar with the rookie here. And I just think a lot of this, people were waiting for Trez to see, is he taking it seriously? Are we getting old Chef Trez back from like 2017? So yeah, it's the next battle, Hansel versus Steams. I've Hansel 2-1 clear. One of the better guys I'm the most familiar with here. Love his work over on the Riot, and Steams' work rate recently just hasn't been there. The Your Honor battle was a tragedy. He did beat Elijah Straight. So there is maybe a possible gatekeeper role to this Crucible level talent in Steams' future if he shows up good here. So there is some motivation, but I figured the Euron battle he would take advantage of. And even when he beat Elijah, I mean, it was more about Elijah disappointing me than Steams really killing him. But Hansel, 2-1. I got him taking that. And then we get on to Foots and Lou Castro. Possible battle of the night. I think Foots is super duper fire coming over from OSBL. Lou obviously has had his inconsistencies recently. We don't know what Lou we're going to get, but he sat down what it seems like for a minute now. Besides some small league ventures like the 2-on-2 with Jazz, that was a one-rounder. We haven't really seen Lou in a serious 3-round format. I know he has the rematch with New Jersey Twerk coming out soon, but here I think I'm going to go with hard one to call. I'm going to go Lou 2-1. I want to bet on Foots because I think Foots is one of the best ones here on the card. I just love, has charisma, you know what I'm saying? Talks that shit that I like. But I do think Lou's a vet, and even though I don't like the way that he went on this losing streak before, I think that, you know, coming down to a Crucible level talent, obviously, even though this guy was underperforming, he was underperforming on SMs and things of that nature. I think he brings it together, gets all the special moves, and there's just too much energy for a rookie to overcome. So I have Lou 2-1, and that moves us into the top half of the card. And starting off, we have Clean versus Ease. This is a battle that I'm also, you know, half and half on in a way. just because he's definitely of that prototype of the Fonz, Avish nature, where it's, big guy that lands heavy punches. I definitely see, I think, Skates. Some of you guys might not know that one from some of the last few PGs before that went out. But Skates reminds me kind of this as well, where it's just that archetype of, big, dominant, barking on you, punching. And that's pretty much the essence of his style, where it can land you, huge points if it goes right. But if you go against charisma, it could go wrong. And I think some people are going to use that argument for Clean here. He's more seasoned at the end of the day. When Clean gets on a roll with the comedy, plus the street talk, clowning you, plus a little bit of angling in there, he could take, the attention away from a guy that's just rapping well if he doesn't have other intangibles, to make the crowd, kind of get into his material. And it ends up, when the crowd doesn't get into your material, whether it's fair or not, your material ends up looking more simple. People are more likely to look at the flaws in it. But with all that being said, you have to question Clean's motivation factor. His consistency has been a question since the start of his career, and even in a year where he had a good battle with A-Ward, in a loss, but he had a good showing, and then debatably beat Geechee Gotti. I had him beating Geechee. I know a lot of people do, even though I think it kind of trends more towards debatable than people want to say. But regardless, Clean has showed up in some kind of big-time matches this year. So to jump down to ease, he's the type of guy to battle down to his comp and not be prepared. But being that he just signed a 2-year exclusivity deal to get back on URL, this might just be one battle he has to take to move on and then get the plates that he wants. We're going to learn early here if Clean pulls up and it's a big what if and he blows it, chokes, no shows. That's just something that we have to deal with. But the prediction-wise, there's enough evidence here, especially with his track record this year, that I see Clean coming prepared and possibly winning 2-1 or 3-0. Might be crazy. I like Ease's style too, but I do think Clean, at his peak, is obviously an experienced vet. And if he is trying to have this second wind on URL that a few people have kind of been having in this last year, it seems like, I think that Clean could win this battle. And then that gets us into the top two matchups, Loso versus Klutz. I think it's disrespectful for Loso to be on this card. I think he is worthy of top-tier opponents. You could really click Loso into any matchup on almost any card, and we're not going to be that mad at it. He has a good work rate, good pen, and occasionally in battles like Jay the Nightwing and Vixen, he's kind of like elite. I think that Loso is a top tier. I think he's a low-level top tier. When I say top tier, it sounds like a good pairing to the Rocks, the Shines, the Geechees. No, not necessarily, but I just mean he is in that upper echelon of some of the top talent, even if he's kind of on the bottom rack of it, if that makes any sense. But not familiar with Klutz's game very much. I think Loso always comes prepared. He won one rounder and he got shelved. I think he has something to prove, and he wins this battle clear 2-1 or 3-0. And that leads us into the main event, Chess versus Souffleur Soul. Oh boy, is Chess in the basement. This is clearly a plate because of, Chess messing up recently on SM. And him having to, and we saw how many times Chess has had to restart on URL or go to the bottom or take this makeup plate. And you would think that he would win this. I know I like Souffleur Soul, the Sweet Life, the Zach and COTY, they'll take my Sweet Life bar at SM was crazy. I think he is very talented, one of the more notable names from the Crucible. But if Chess comes prepared, probably not a big stage. I don't see the nerves taking a lot. He doesn't tend to really throw up like that in the small room. I just think he's too seasoned, has too much material. So while Soul has a chance, just because Chess is a what if, I do have Chess winning this battle 2-1 or possibly 3-0 clear to end the final exams. And that is my full predictions for the final exams card. Definitely think it'll be a cool event. I'm sure they're going to be app drops, and it's not going to be streamed. So definitely going to be covering some of these. If some of these are just kind of bad battles or maybe not. But we're hoping that we get good footage here. And if they release them all at once, I might just do a quick recap of all of them, and maybe do a top three winners, top three most disappointing from the card. Just depends how they decide to drop it on the app. But with that being said, we can get to the Traffic 5 topic real quick. And obviously, Nitty versus Bill Collector announced for Traffic 5. Now, people have obviously seen what Nitty's been doing on Twitter lately. Over the last month or so, there's been people taking his cryptic messages. Nitty said it's been blown out of proportion, but kind of hinting to some tweets hinting towards, maybe not being a part of you being on URL for the rest of the year, wanting certain opponents in certain bags, and people demanding, including myself, for him to battle top tier comp. I think the Nitty versus Calico and a volume books itself skill-wise. I want to promote that matchup as much as I can because I just think that that's one that the people just want. I think the people would love to see that matchup on any card. But regardless, whether it's a Calico, whether it's a Loaded Lux, even an Avery, even though I don't know if that's a difficulty, it's more about resume filling at that point. But people want to see Nitty versus other top guys to fill out those last few big marks on his resume. And people will debate if Bill fills that, but I think this is a great battle to book. First of all, Bill has been, he's on his return to URL after winning the King of the Dot tournament, which is humongous for him. So I think just skill for skill-wise, Bill is in a prime right now and hungry and motivated. And Rum Nitty in Arizona, Traffic 5 will be in Arizona. His first home game on URL, his second home game I can remember besides Arsenal on Duel in the Desert, and he won that battle, had one of his biggest moments ever with his Ray Rice elevator bar. So there's so many great things with those motivations going together. I think you can get a bar fest, especially with the now back-to-back style that Bill has bar-wise. I would be lying if I said I don't favor Nitty going in. I'll give more detailed reasons of it when I get to do a full card prediction for it. Obviously, I'll be going to the event. Might be able to get some footage there, but get some extra stuff for the recap. We'll see. But either way, I'm definitely favoring Nitty early going in, but I do think it's going to be a bar fest and just great footage. And I think it is a good battle also because of the Champion of the Year implications. I believe both of these men are top 10 for COTY right now. I do my Champion of the Year tracker on my Twitter. My Twitter is in the description, so if you go there, just like my YouTube, at JSmo Reviews, and look up at JSmo Reviews COTY tracker on Twitter, you can see all my months, how I have the top 10 rank, how the names have flipped coming from January till now. And I think both these gentlemen are still in the top 10. Bill hasn't battled in a minute, but obviously the King of the Dot tourney win is humongous. Don't think that anyone has knocked him fully out of there yet. And Rum Nitty has a Battle of the Year, Performance of the Year, and Round of the Year contender, all surrounded around that A-Ward battle, as well as a good battle with Danny, lost to Swamp, but in a pretty decent battle, and then some decent one-round work, even the Gaddis battle. So there could be debated around, but I definitely think they're both in the top 10, so them battling has implications for that, which is what we want to see starting the end of the year to heat up those Champion of the Year debates. And as for the undercard, I know Danny has a big matchup on there, so can't wait to see that. And I would like to see a mix of mid-tier, top-tier comp. Maybe Chilla Jones steps out for another Traffic. I wouldn't be mad at that. Chilla versus Holmesy is in a battle I wouldn't be mad at seeing. And maybe a young guy or two on there. So can't wait to go to Traffic 5. Definitely looking forward to being in the building for this event. And that would be my full thoughts on both the Traffic and the Final Exams card. Like I said, Final Exam, definitely going vet heavy with the picks, as it should be on kind of a rookies versus vets type of card. Love that URL brought that back, by the way. That's what I wanted to say earlier. Just think it's good for the sport to have an annual, new talent card. So even if you're not promoting them the best, at least we know, okay, we're going to see the new talent on this card. So I'd love to see Final Exams 2, Final Exams 3, maybe keep this going. But full thoughts on that. And as for Traffic 5, obviously I'm a fan of the main event. Kind of going to be putting some pieces together on who's going to be on the card. Like I said, the Danny battle's coming up. But overall, a lot of great battle rap coming up. And the homecoming predictions that I just did, had that up. Chrome 23 bracket. End of October and November, big month, so expect a bunch of content coming to the channel. And, comment down below what you're excited for. Just let me know in Battle Rap what, out of all the announcements you've heard recently, even the exclusivity deals and those battlers getting announced, what is the biggest piece of Battle Rap news in the last week or two that's brought you personal excitement? Let me know down below. So, like, comment, subscribe. It's been JSmo Reviews again, y'all, and I'm going to catch you on the next one. Peace.